guys, most of the time we cut up and do a lot of rough talk and have a lot of fun here on the K-Town Connection. But, we just wanted to kind of do a tribute. It came across the wire, and that a good friend of all of ours, Mr. Dane Laney, passed away after a long, hard battle with Parkinson's disease. And I know between the three of us that, we all had a friendship and a relationship. But Dane's one of those guys that's going to be missed, and I know that you both have some stories to tell. So Ryan, we'll start with you. Just your thoughts on everything he did for this town.
Yeah, Dane was a special guy. he was a personal friend my whole life. He grew up next to my mom, her grandparents on 6th Street back in the day, and my mom knew him when he was a kid, wearing diapers. She always joked with Dane about that. But all the things that he has done and supported with A.L. Brown. A.L. Brown was his heart and soul. That was he was a security guy at Catawba when I was there. But man, every time you talked to Dane, it was about A.L. Brown High School football, the radio program that he put together every week, the corporate sponsorship that he developed with the Booster Club for the sponsorship of the stadium. Wall, just everything that he did. It was incredible that all those guys. Between him, Doug Wilson, Gerald Hilton, all those guys that have done that Booster Club thing for so long, brought so much money back to the kids in the school because that was their heart and their passion.
Yeah.
And Dane is one of those guys that was right there. He was vice president of Booster Club for many years, and. But above and beyond, he was a good friend to many people.
Amen.
Always had a smile, always had a laugh to share with people.
Yeah.
And that's what I'll miss.
I agree. And Chuck, he's big shoes to fill. I don't know that anyone can fill those shoes, but, he definitely left a legacy here in town.
He did. And, I echo everything that Ryan just said about him. The mayor was on a couple of weeks ago, and they worked together hand in hand through the boosters. He lived, eat, and slept A.L. Brown.
Yes, he did.
Yep.
And, Friday nights were him and Randy and Buddy, and he made you feel like you were in the stands watching the game. And, he, as Ryan said, he was in security, semi-law enforcement in his years, and he was just a great community leader. And Kannapolis will have a empty seat in the stadium.
They will.
When we come to football season.
No doubt.
No doubt. They certainly will. And, anyone who has listened to the Wonder Football Radio Network over the last 25 years have done so because of the hard work that he did. He worked tirelessly with Carl Ford and WRKB to find the sponsorship, to keep that on the air and do such a great job. So, I think the town owes him a big thanks. And, just again, our most heartfelt condolences to his family and, all of his friends and all the people that he touched. And, I thought it was appropriate, Ryan, that we just kind of took this moment for him.
Yeah, he would definitely appreciate that.
Absolutely.
He loved what we do, and in fact, we've wanted to get him on, but his health has declined in the past several years since we've been doing this, and but he definitely will always be in our hearts and our thoughts because our town is better off because of Dane Laney.
Yep, and totally agree, Chuck, and. Thanks to the people that do try to pick up, the slack. I know Doug, he talked about in our interview with him that he's going to try to, do what Dane did running the radio this year. But, it's going to be different, and hats off to guys like Scott Boggs with the Friday nights in K-Town. He does a lot to preserve the history of the program and promote these kids as well. But, he put out a nice piece about Dane this morning.
Yes.
And,
very nice.
It just goes to show you, when you do – depart to go live with the Holy Father, people left behind to say good things about you because, he was just such a good man.
Only the good die young.
There you go. There you go. So, guys, it's not the most joyful of experiences or show that we're putting on here, but, just wanted to make sure everybody knew that we cared a lot about Dane, and, for his friends and families, to rest assured that he ain't going to be forgotten.
That's right.
All right, guys. Well, hey, we will come back to you on the K-Town Connection with a more joyful Rough Talk episode. But until then, thanks for watching.